All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Britton coming in here, and I want to thank you for giving me a little bit of your time tonight. I just want to tell you that I'm super excited about what's going to happen going into 2020, the year of vision, and I'm excited that you have expressed interest to be a part of this coaching group that we have. Group coaching is a powerful tool which will help you make those improvements, put a plan in place, identify some areas of growth, and then begin working towards that because my end goal is to help you be your best yet. And so one of the things that I start this out with showing this picture that's right here is if you read the caption, it says, what if we just read a motivational book and hope something magical happens? And that's one of the things I want to make sure doesn't happen. When you and I partner together, it is my intent, it is my responsibility to position, to advise, to help you formulate that plan, put that plan into action, and then begin that growth journey. One of the things that I'll tell you is that when you focus on personal growth, you focus on growth, goals take care of themselves. But of course, that can't happen until we have three big words that we'll talk about in our first lesson, taking care of, called purpose, vision, and goals. We'll talk about how those go there hand in hand. So I just want to tell you my goal, my intent, my position is to make sure that without a doubt, that after our time together over the next 4 months, because we're going to go December, January, February, and into March, is to make sure that, number one, you see measurable, obtainable goals, that you see that growth taking place, and that we're able to help you get to where you exactly want to be, both professionally, personally, in your life. And that's something that each one of you is going to have to determine what you want to be able to accomplish. And so one of the things I want to talk to you today about, apologize as I look down because I've got to make sure I stay on my notes here. But one of the things that I really want to talk about first is I want to talk about what is coaching. There's some misconceptions out there about what coaching is, how it works, and what happens. And then first, also, what is a coach? I think, we live in the internet age where you have a lot of people that they've had some success. Maybe they've not had any training, but they've had some success, or they've read a few books, and then they become a coach. Coach is a buzzword that's out there right now. And so I want to stress to you that we will be using the John Maxwell method of coaching from the John Maxwell team. This is a certification that I went through that's been intensive. It's ongoing. I'm continually learning and updating my strategies here. But coaching is basically a relationship between you and me. And it might be in the small group setting. That's going to be we're going to work in small group. We're going to work in one-to-one settings to do that. And I want you to think about this, is that this is going to be a relationship where I am there for you 100% to listen, to focus, for you to bounce ideas off of, for you to express where you want to be. And it's going to be my job to be devoted to you as a group and individuals, for you to make that success to go with it. And so coaching works on a couple of principles, or three actually, I want to talk about tonight. The first is self-discovery. One of the things that I'm a huge proponent of, you guys know I'm kind of a cerebral, intellectual kind of guy, but one of the things I believe the most deep down inside is that if you fail to go within, then you go without. And that's challenging to think about, because every situation, everywhere we are in life, we are exactly where we are because of the choices that we have made, because of the totality of where we are. That is how we get to where we are. That is how we get to deal with life in general. We are where we are because of that totality of record, getting everywhere. Our successes, our failures, our mediocre runs, all of those things add up over time. Each choice impacts where we are, where we're going, the trajectory, whether we're going up, whether we're going down, whether we're building momentum, or whether we're losing it. All comes back down to the power of choice. The second thing the premise in this coaching idea and this concept is awareness. What we are aware of, we can measure, we can improve. If we're not aware of it, we're not accountable for it. You can't hold somebody accountable for what they don't know. You can't challenge somebody, or you can't punish somebody for they don't know what they don't know, and if they don't know it, then they can't improve it. And then finally, the last thing is choice. The coaching relationship is helping you make the best choices and come to the conclusions that you need to hear, that you need to see, that you need to be a part of in your life. And that's what the Maxwell method really focuses on. It's self-discovery, awareness, and then the power of the choice. And so I've said it earlier, say it again. If you fail to go within, then you will go without. And so that means that there's so much power, there's so much that's inside of us, there's so much that we can accomplish, there's so much that we can do, that we just have to go on that self-discovery. We have to go through there. And as your coach in the group and in the individual setting, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to help you work through where you are to get you to be where you want to be at. And so coaching is a relationship. And I want to disclaim a myth here. That this is something that I had in my coaching journey as being coached. I thought somebody couldn't coach me unless they had done what I wanted to do. And I was sadly mistaken, because that's what a mentor is. A mentor works through the idea or the principle that they teach from experience. And they don't necessarily help you grow and improve. They just give you a plan and they direct you. And we, a lot of times when we think of coach, we think of high school coaches, we think of football coaches, basketball coaches, those guys here. And most of those guys are drawing from big experience, whether it be as a player, as a coach, championships, resumes. They roll the resume out. As your coach, I'm not going to roll my resume out because my resume is irrelevant, because this is about you. This is about our relationship and the value that I can add to you as a group and an individual. That's the power of coaching. And so coaching first is listening. That's one of the things that I'm going to be as your coach. I'm going to listen, because you know what? If I can't find out where you are, then I can't help you get to where you want to be. I can't meet you where you're at to go along with that. Your coach is an encourager. A coach is going to hold you accountable. Oh, there's that dirty word, that A word, accountability. When we sit down and we identify your purpose, we establish your vision, we talk about your goals, and then we set those goals, because goals have deadlines. They have expiration dates. Then I'm going to hold you accountable to make sure you're doing those IPAs, those impact-producing activities that are done daily, that are going to be moving you towards those goals, towards those accomplishments, to get you to the destination that you're wanting to be. And then finally, as a coach, I'm going to be committed to your success. And that's something I think that a lot of times in the world today we don't see. We see a lot of people that they're acting in self-interest, self-promotion, and focusing on what they can get out of the situation. And ultimately, as a coach, I'm not successful unless you're successful. And so I'm going to be 100% committed to helping you to meet those mile markers, to accomplish those goals, to achieve the vision, so that ultimately you can fulfill your purpose to go along with that. Now, I've thrown around purpose, vision, and goals. We'll go a little more in depth of that, but I'm just going to tell you from my perspective, my experience, our purpose is what we're here to do, what the good Lord put us here to do. The vision is the vehicle that we're going to use to accomplish that purpose, and then the goals are going to be how we measure that to go there and through that. Now, how's this going to work? Well, this is the challenging part, because I've got 7, 8, 9 people that are all wanting to be a part of this. Everyone has varying schedules. So what we're going to do when a group meeting is coming up, we're going to have a group session where we got to be face to face. We'll have 2 options on that. I'll establish, we'll have a morning option or afternoon or evening. And if you can get there, great. If not, understand that is your loss to be a part of that. 1-to-1 meetings, everybody's going to get at least 2 one-on-one sessions with me through this coaching process over the next 4 months. We'll have an agenda. We'll have very specific things that we're going to work on and target. specifically available to help you when we're going to get to those barriers, or we're going to get to those roadblocks, those speed bumps, those things those challenges, because that's going to happen, guys. When you're grinding, when you're working on you're focusing on those impact producing activities each day, and you're pounding away, you're going to run into some things. You're going to hit those challenges, those obstacles, those things that you can't get over, and that's going to require some more time. That's where we're really going to have to go within to really find a way to get through, to overcome, and to conquer that obstacle, that challenge, that adversity that has struck for you. And so those are going to be flexible. I wish I could say, hey, on Wednesdays we're going to meet here. Well, we have at least four group meetings over the next few weeks. And we'll be flexible on that, and I will make my schedule work to be for you. The one-to-one meetings are the same way. Now, each week we'll use Facebook to encourage each other. I'll create a group. I believe I want to call it. I've got a fancy name written down here somewhere. I got to find out what it's going to be. Once you agree to be a part of the group, we get everything settled. I'll add you into that. And there, in that setting, what we're going to do, there will be some daily activities, some daily quotes, encouragement, things like that. But then we'll have a weekly lesson specifically along the path. I've got eight weekly lessons for the course of this coaching group of this unit. And we'll talk about each thing. So we'll be 15 minutes. I will do them on a Facebook Live. So if you can hop on live and be a part of it, great. If not, the recording will be there for you to be able to reference and be a part of that. And so here's what I'm going to tell you as I get ready to wrap this thing up. Number one, the amount of success and the amount of growth that you see here is going to be directly related to the effort that you put into this. And I think we all know that as adults, as business people, we know that our effort predicates our success. But doing the wrong thing harder doesn't make it right faster. So you got to be flexible in what you put into that. But ultimately, as we look at this, if you invest the time and the effort in this, you will see the results. And I'm very confident of that. But I've had people that that say, Britton, well, I just didn't get anything out of reading that book or being in that mastermind. I didn't get anything out of it. And I said, well, what'd you put into it? And they look at me kind of funny, and they're like, well, and then the excuses and the blaming and all those things happen. But ultimately, guys, this is an amplifier. So what you put into it will be amplified and come back to you. And I'm excited to watch each one of you go through this process. I'm honored that you would allow me to be a part of it and see to go with it. Now, finally, here's the last part. People say, well, what's it cost? Everybody wants to know what cost is, guys. I can't assess a value for what you're going to get out of this. I can tell you that, I can give you an amount that it costs to start, and I'm going to charge $200 for this. That's the price that we're going to go here. And it's my personal guarantee that I will meet and far exceed that value in the growth that you're going to see and that you're going to experience over the next few months as we work together. And so that's what we do. So if you want to do this, if you want to be a part of it, just to say, Britton, I do. And we'll make payment arrangements, and then we're going to kick this thing off the first of next week. We'll have the first lesson and the units to go with it as everybody's wrapping up the holidays and getting everything, wrapping up Thanksgiving, I should say, and then heading into that. This is the time, guys, that we got to lay that plan and do that to build that foundation and know ultimately what we want and where we want to go. And that's one of the things where a lot of people challenge. There's a lot of people that are working themselves to death to get things they don't need to impress people that they don't like. And that is what we want to avoid, because we want to make sure that we're maximizing our effort, that everything is focused, laser focused, to help you meet and exceed, and ultimately do some things that you've never done before. And I promise you that'll show you the value in what we've got going on. And so what I'll tell you as we wrap up is what you think about is what you bring about. And so if you have a very positive view of it, and you say this is going to be the solution, guess what? We're going to find the solution. If you say this isn't going to work, it's not going to work. So whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. What goes with it. And so ultimately, guys, I appreciate the opportunity to work with each one of you, to work as a group. This is going to be phenomenal. I promise you this is going to be something unlike anything you've ever done before. And it's going to allow us to ultimately to plan, to put a plan in place, to chart the course of where you want to go. And then I'm going to do everything I can to cheer you along, provide insight, listen, encourage, hold you accountable, and do the things that a coach is supposed to do to help you be your best yet. So thank you so much for the time this evening. I know several of you are going to watch this on recordings, and I look forward to getting our group completely squared away and providing you with the first lesson next week on purpose, vision, and goals. Thank you very much.